Welcome back to our channel.
Hey everyone, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Eric. And today we're diving even deeper into some essential phrasal verbs in a relaxed, friendly American style.
So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's explore these handy expressions with extra examples to help you master them.
All right, Lisa, what phrasal verbs are we focusing on today?
Today we're covering bring up, figure out, run out of, turn down, and take over.
Let's start with the first phrasal verb, bring up.
Bring up.
Bring up means to mention or introduce a topic during a conversation.
For example, you might say, I didn't want to bring up the issue during dinner, to avoid a sensitive subject.
You can also use it like, she brought up her concerns about the project in the meeting, to indicate that she introduced a problem for discussion.
Another example could be, at the conference he brought up some interesting ideas about technology trends, showing that he introduced a new topic.
Now, let's listen to a dialogue using bring up. Hey Emma, did you bring up your new proposal in the team meeting?
Yes, I brought it up early on and everyone had some great suggestions.
That dialogue shows how bring up can naturally introduce a subject during a conversation.
Exactly, and using it properly helps start important discussions without feeling awkward.
Next, let's move on to the phrasal verb, figure out.
Figure out.
Figure out means to understand or solve something by thinking it through carefully.
For example, you might say, I need to figure out the best way to prepare for my exam, when you're trying to decide on a study plan.
Another example is, after a few minutes, I finally figured out the answer to the puzzle, indicating that you solved the problem.
You could also use it like, we need to figure out how to reduce our expenses this month, showing that you're looking for a solution to a challenge.
Now, let's listen to a dialogue using figure out. Emma, have you been able to figure out the solution for that tricky problem?
Yes, I figured it out after discussing it with my colleagues and reviewing the data.
That conversation illustrates how figure out is perfect for describing the process of solving problems.
It really emphasizes that taking time to think can lead to clear, effective solutions.
Now, let's look at the phrasal verb, run out of.
Run out of.
Run out of means to have no more of something left.
For instance, you might say, we ran out of paper during the presentation, indicating that the supply was depleted.
Another example is, I ran out of time before I could finish the test, showing that the available time expired.
Or, they ran out of tickets for the concert very quickly, emphasizing that the tickets sold out.
Now, let's listen to a dialogue using run out of. Emma, did you run out of coffee this morning?
Yes, I ran out of coffee, so I had to stop by the cafe to grab some before work.
That dialogue shows how run out of is commonly used to indicate a depletion of supplies.
It's a handy phrase to use when you need to explain that something you expected to have is now gone.
Next up, let's discuss the phrasal verb, turn down.
Turn down.
Turn down means to reject or refuse an offer, invitation, or request.
For example, you might say, I had to turn down the job offer because it didn't match my career goals, to politely decline an opportunity.
You could also use it like, she turned down the invitation to the party because she had other plans, showing that she refused the invitation.
Another example might be, they turned down the proposal for the new project after careful consideration, meaning they rejected it.
Now, let's listen to a dialogue using turn down. Emma, did you turn down the invitation to the weekend getaway?
Yes, I turned it down because I needed to focus on my work commitments instead.
That conversation shows how turn down is used to express a polite refusal.
It's a straightforward way to say no when an offer doesn't fit your needs or plans.
Finally, let's explore the phrasal verb, take over.
Take over.
Take over means to assume control or responsibility for something, often when someone else is stepping aside.
For example, you might say, when the manager left, she took over the project, indicating that she assumed control.
Another example is, he will take over the meeting while I step out for a moment, showing a temporary transfer of responsibility.
You could also say, The new system took over the old one completely, making our processes much smoother. To describe a replacement.
Now, let's listen to a dialogue using take over. Emma, are you ready to take over the presentation while I handle the phone call?
Yes, I'll take over the presentation and make sure everything runs smoothly.
That dialogue shows how take over is used to indicate the transfer of control or responsibility.
It's a powerful phrase to use when delegating tasks or transitioning roles.
And that wraps up our phrasal verbs vocabulary session for today with extra examples for each.
We dove into bring up, figure out, run out of, turn down, and take over, explaining each with several practical examples and dialogues.
We hope these detailed examples help you feel more confident using these expressions in your everyday conversations.
Thanks for hanging out with us, and remember, practice these phrasal verbs to make your English sound natural and fluent.
Until next time, keep learning, keep chatting, and make these phrases a part of your daily English routine.
Bye everyone, and happy learning!